Good. Today, we find rest. And for me, this is especially important today because the past 2 days were big. 2 of the biggest days of my life. I won't go too much into it, but the first day, it was revealed to me that my number one goal is still a possibility. I did not receive confirmation that it's going to happen, but that it can happen still, in spite of the relentless doubt and innumerable temptations that the world has offered me. By not accepting these doubts and temptations and maintaining my diligence and vigilance, I was granted an opportunity to see clearly that it is possible still. And for that, I'm very grateful, and it relieved a great burden from me, and therefore released a great store of energy that had been suppressed within me. And the following day, I had an opportunity to express this energy in a way that I have practiced for over a decade now, that is climbing. And I love climbing. And I got to go out with a few dear friends and had perhaps maybe the most maybe the greatest athletic performance of my life. And there's only 3 other people that witnessed it. And as soon as it happened, that was it. No record of it. And yeah, just a fleeting moment of pure expression of my potential. And an expression of this huge amount of energy that I had finally tapped into after being hindered, perhaps. And so now today, because of that huge release of energy, I'm very tired. In fact, only a few hours after getting out of bed today, I took a nap. So it's now early afternoon and I haven't really done much except go for a short walk. But I feel great. Tired, but I feel great because I'm grateful for the opportunity to rest when I need to. I allow myself these opportunities now, where in the past I didn't, perhaps because I felt obligated to be occupied in some way, or maybe I didn't have the capacity to sit still and actually allow myself to rest. And this is something I've recognized in a lot of people around me recently. Many of us do not have the capacity to be still. And if we cannot be still, then we're not actually resting. Not effectively. And another really important thing I've recognized is we do not have to work so much. I know we all feel like we need to. It feels like we need to work all the time, but we do not need to. Life can be very, very long, and there's no sense in constantly striving and straining, because then you just deplete yourself and you shorten what could be a long life. And if you think about it, if you're in a rush, you're only going to get to the end more quickly. and the end ultimately is death. So if you're rushing, you're just rushing to death. So we should take our time. And so the capacity to be still that I mentioned, that a lot of us are lacking, the ways that a lot of us relax include playing video games or watching TV or, some kind of entertainment where we can, yes, relax our bodies, but we're still being stimulated, hyperstimulated oftentimes. And so we're not actually being still. Our mind is still extremely active. And so we're still using energy, just not in an obvious way. We have to put all of that aside, be still in a quiet place. Now that it's winter, hopefully a warm, quiet place. Our beautiful homes, since we are emphasizing cultivating beauty in our lives to promote the healing that we need. A warm, quiet place away from all distractions. Because perhaps it's those inner conflicts within us that we're distracting ourselves from that are the reason that we're tired in the first place. And if we constantly avoid these things, we never resolve them, and so we never find peace. So in the quiet, in the stillness, we confront these conflicts, we make peace with them, and in that peace is where we finally find that rest that we so earnestly need and have prevented ourselves from experiencing for so long. I'm saying this to myself, of course, not just whoever might be watching, because I struggle from the same things that everybody else struggles from. But I make a point of looking in the mirror often so that I can recognize these things the traps I'm falling into, or the bad habits that I'm giving way to, and the lack of rest that I'm enduring. And this year has been a big year, I would say. Been very productive, very diligent, and thankfully, I've been using my energy in mostly positive ways, making positive contributions to the world around me, and positive changes in my life. But the number one positive change that I need to make is to allow myself more rest. Because if I rest, then I can heal, and then my energy can resupply, and then I have more to give. So, taking time to rest means that we have more of ourselves to give, rather than just going constantly, depleting ourselves and ending up drained, withered, worn out, dead. Rushing to the end is insane. Being in a rush at all is insane. And so, I no longer rush. I relax and I rest. And I hope you do the same.